Hey there, science fans. Welcome to Science Sparks. I'm so excited you're here. Get ready to unleash your inner scientist with some seriously cool experiments you can do right at home. We're talking bubbling volcanoes, dancing milk, and even rockets. So put on your thinking caps, grab your safety goggles, better safe than sorry, and let's dive into the world of science with our animated friends. Alright, science crew, who's ready for an eruption? Let's make a volcano. This is going to be an explosive adventure, so get your lab coats on and let's dive into the world of chemistry. First, you're gonna need some baking soda. This common household item is actually a powerful chemical called sodium bicarbonate. That's sodium bicarbonate, in case you were wondering. It's a base, which means it can react with acids to create some pretty cool effects. Now pile that baking soda up in a nice, tall cone. This will be the core of your volcano, where all the action happens. You can use Play-Doh, dirt from the backyard, or even mashed potatoes if you're feeling extra creative. The material you choose will shape your volcano and make it look more realistic. Remember, the taller your volcano, the more dramatic the eruption. So, don't be afraid to go big. Next, let's mix up some lava. This is where the magic happens, and you'll see why chemistry is so fascinating. Grab a cup and mix together some vinegar. Vinegar is an acid, specifically acetic acid, and it will react with our baking soda to create an eruption. Add a drop of dish soap. This will help create more bubbles and make the eruption even more exciting. And a dash of red food coloring for that extra volcanic flair. This will make your lava look more realistic and fiery. Now, here comes the fun part. Get ready to see some real action. Carefully pour your lava mixture into the center of your volcano and wait for it. Boom! See that eruption? It's like a mini Mount Vesuvius right in your kitchen. That, my friends, is the power of chemistry. It's amazing how simple ingredients can create such a spectacular reaction. The baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, reacts with the vinegar or acetic acid to create a gas called carbon dioxide. And that gas? It's what makes all those awesome bubbles and fizz. It's what makes all those awesome bubbles and fizz. Isn't science the coolest? The carbon dioxide gas builds up pressure and forces its way out, creating the eruption. You just created a chemical reaction right in your own home. This is just one of the many wonders of science that you can explore. Now, who's ready for some dancing milk? Stay tuned for our next experiment where we'll make colors dance in milk using just a few simple ingredients. Science is full of surprises. Get ready to be amazed by the power of surface tension. Surface tension is a fascinating phenomenon where the surface of a liquid acts like a thin, elastic sheet. This happens because the molecules at the surface are pulled together by strong intermolecular forces. It's what allows small objects, like a paperclip, to float on water if placed gently. For this experiment, you'll need a plate, preferably one with a flat bottom to ensure the milk spreads evenly. Some milk, whole milk works best, because the fat content in whole milk helps to create more dramatic effects. Dish soap, which will break the surface tension, food coloring to add a splash of color, and a cotton swab to apply the soap. First, pour your milk onto the plate, making sure it covers the bottom. You want a thin layer that just covers the surface. Now, add a few drops of different colored food coloring to the center of the milk. Don't mix it. The colors should stay in small, separate pools. We want those colors to stay separate for now. This will help us see the effect of the dish soap more clearly. Next, dip your cotton swab into the dish soap. Make sure it's well coated but not dripping. Now gently touch the cotton swab to the surface of the milk in the center of the food coloring. Watch what happens. The soap will start to break the surface tension of the milk. The colors will dance and swirl away from the soap like magic. This happens because the soap molecules are trying to spread out and mix with the fat molecules in the milk, pushing the food coloring away. That's because dish soap breaks down the surface tension of the milk. The soap reduces the cohesive forces between the milk molecules, causing the surface to become unstable and the colors to move. The food coloring is just along for the ride, creating a beautiful and mesmerizing display of science in action. It's a perfect example of how chemistry and physics can create something visually stunning. You can experiment with different types of milk and dish soap to see how the results change. Try using skim milk or 2% milk and observe the differences. You might notice that the lower the fat content, the less dramatic the effect. You can even try adding pepper to the milk before adding the soap. The pepper will scatter in a similar way, giving you another visual treat. The results will blow your mind. This simple experiment is a fantastic way to explore the wonders of science right in your kitchen. So, gather your materials and get ready to be amazed by the magic of milk. Chapter 3. Rainbow in a Jar. Who's ready to make a rainbow appear right before their very eyes? Today, we're going to dive into a fun and colorful science experiment that you can easily do at home. It's not just magical, but also a great way to learn about the fascinating concept of density. So, gather around and let's get started. You won't believe how easy it is. With just a few household items, you can create a stunning rainbow in a jar that will leave everyone in awe. This experiment is perfect for kids and adults alike, and it's a fantastic way to bring a little bit of science into your day. For this experiment, you'll need a tall glass or jar. The taller the jar, the more distinct and beautiful your rainbow layers will be. Make sure it's clear so you can see all the colors vividly. You'll also need honey and corn syrup. These thick, viscous liquids will form the base layers of your rainbow. Their high density will ensure they stay at the bottom of the jar. In addition to honey and corn syrup, you'll need dish soap, water, vegetable oil, and rubbing alcohol. Each of these liquids has a different density, which is key to creating the layered effect. Don't forget the food coloring and a dropper to add those vibrant colors to your rainbow. Now this experiment takes a bit of patience, but trust me, the results are worth it. Take your time with each step to ensure the layers remain distinct and don't mix together. First, carefully pour the honey into the bottom of your jar. Honey is the densest liquid we'll be using, so it will naturally settle at the bottom. Then, add the corn syrup. Pour it slowly and gently over the back of a spoon to avoid mixing it with the honey. This technique helps to keep the layers separate. Next, it's time for the dish soap. Again, pour it slowly and carefully. The dish soap will form a bright, colorful layer above the corn syrup. Now add the water. You can color the water with food coloring before pouring it in to make your rainbow even more vibrant. After the water, gently pour in the vegetable oil. The oil will float on top of the water due to its lower density. And finally, the rubbing alcohol. Like with the other liquids, pour it slowly and carefully. The rubbing alcohol will form the topmost layer of your rainbow. Be sure to add each liquid slowly and carefully to create distinct layers. This is the most crucial part of the experiment, as it ensures that each layer remains separate and visible. Now, for the rainbow magic. This is where the real fun begins. Adding the food coloring will bring your rainbow to life. Add a few drops of red food coloring to the rubbing alcohol. Watch as the color spreads and creates a beautiful red layer at the top. Next, add a few drops of blue to the water. The blue will create a striking contrast with the other colors, making your rainbow even more stunning. And finally, add a few drops of green to the corn syrup. The green layer will add a fresh, vibrant touch to your rainbow. Watch as the colors stay separated, creating a beautiful rainbow effect in your jar. The distinct layers of color are a result of the different densities of the liquids. This experiment works because of density. Density is a measure of how much mass is contained in a given volume. In simpler terms, it's how heavy or light a liquid is compared to another. Each liquid has a different density, meaning some are heavier than others. The denser liquids like honey and corn syrup sink to the bottom, while the lighter liquids like vegetable oil and rubbing alcohol float on top. The heaviest liquids sink to the bottom, while the lightest liquids float on top, creating a mesmerizing rainbow effect. This simple yet fascinating experiment is a great way to visualize the concept of density and have fun with science at the same time. So go ahead and try it out, and enjoy your very own rainbow in a jar. Chapter 4. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Get ready for launch with this super fun balloon rocket experiment. You'll need a balloon, a straw, some tape, and a long piece of string. First, thread your string through the straw. Then, tie one end of the string to a chair, doorknob, or any sturdy object. Now, inflate your balloon, but don't tie it off, and hold it closed with your fingers. Next, tape the straw to the side of the balloon. Now for the exciting part. While still holding the balloon closed, pull it all the way to one end of the string. Let go, and watch your rocket soar. The air rushing out of the balloon creates thrust, propelling it forward along the string. It's the same principle that makes real rockets fly. You can experiment with different sized balloons and different lengths of string to see how it affects the distance your rocket travels. Chapter 5. Lava Lamp Chill Out. Let's wrap up our science adventure with a mesmerizing lava lamp you can make right at home. You'll need a clear plastic bottle, vegetable oil, water, food coloring, and an effervescent tablet, like Alka-Seltzer. First, fill your bottle about 3/4 full with vegetable oil. Then, add water until the bottle is almost full, leaving about an inch of space at the top. Now, add a few drops of your favorite food coloring. Watch as the food coloring falls through the oil and mixes with the water. Finally, break your effervescent tablet into a few pieces and drop them into the bottle. Get ready for the lava show. The tablet reacts with the water, creating bubbles of carbon dioxide gas. These bubbles attach themselves to the blobs of colored water and carry them to the top of the bottle. When the bubbles reach the top, they pop, and the colored water falls back down, creating a mesmerizing lava lamp effect. Well, science fans, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you had a blast exploring the world of science with me. Remember, science is everywhere and it's always waiting to be discovered. So keep asking questions, keep experimenting, and keep that love of science alive. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed these experiments and subscribe to Science Sparks for more awesome science fun. Until next time, stay curious.